So once again, we're at the Bex and Johnny's residence in the Pavlikeni region, and I'm going to talk you through what we're aiming to achieve for the rest of the day. Okay, so this morning we picked up a load of water pipe, 50mm drain for the sink, and an extra soil pipe, because we're just about 2 meters short for the channel. We've got all the fittings to cut into this and start connecting the water next week. And the reason we're starting connecting the water next week is because we still need to get the channel smashed through for the sink, and that's with the Kango hammer that we brought back today. So we got some T's with the 50mm inlets as well, so everything's in place. So we're aiming to also smash out a bit further of this, because last week where I mentioned it was going to be like a wet room style, after speaking to Bex and Johnny, that's not exactly what they wanted. So there's no issue. We're just going to bring it out a bit more and put the drain a bit more here. And they're going to have like a future kind of standard divide, maybe like a glass panel or something like that. And you'd walk around to here. So this area needs smashing through, and we're probably going to go underneath this one, because that is just the soakaway, like I mentioned last week. There's going to be an elbow there. So maybe come out underneath the door as originally planned, so it's just going to be a bit further back, that's all.
It just looks like a war zone in here.
Bit of a progress update on the drains and smashy. Let me show you what we've been up to. So don't worry, Bex and Johnny, nothing's exploded. We just took the door off because it was easier to get the wheelbarrow in. But it will go back on, no issue. So with that, you've also no longer got a floor, because we needed to take most of it out to get the sink thing in. So yeah, we're in the process of just getting some uprights and some things melted together and joined up. We've also from the phone call and the video we sent to Bex and Johnny, we're getting rid of the existing soakaway, and it actually ended up going down towards like we thought. So we turned the water on, turned all the taps on, and it turned out there was only an extra 6 inches of that original pipe that we saw at the beginning of the video under the concrete. That was it. There was no stop end or nothing. So we made that obsolete, and now it's no longer needed, because we can just put one pipe from the shower trap into there and into the soil pipe. So things are looking really good. We're about to make a short piece for this and then stick the end on the outside area, and then that can be cut to size when the pit's getting bricklayed. But yeah, super progress. I'll show you inside. Nish, I'm coming in. So Nish has been decluttering this hallway cut through that I haven't really showed on the videos, but it's basically been a pantry store for preserved.
Doesn't work anymore.
It's okay, but it's all right. It's light enough to see what she's been up to. So Bex and Johnny will know more what this used to look like instead of people on the channel. But yeah, it's a bit of a declutter session in here to make room and air out that back wall, because it might look like the damp has continued across on the street side.
Do you think that's a little Rakia cup?
Yeah, it's definitely a Rakia shot glass in it.
It is, isn't it? Isn't it nice?
So we've turned the water on and noticed there's a leak next to the meter box, so that actually filled full of water, which would explain why the kitchen is so damp, because it's got nowhere else to go but up if underneath is hard. So that's a bit of an investigation job in the future. So we always got to remember to turn the water off when we leave. And we might get around to taking the cupboards off, we're not too certain just yet. But things are looking good. So yeah, let's crack on. Early. Come on. Well, you don't need all of that there anyway.
I don't know. I don't know where it's going to be exactly yet, but I can make these up.
I'll just show you. First of all, we're doing a little bit of a tidy as we've gone. So the first thing you'll notice that we've got everything in situ, not fully connected just yet because we need a heat gun to finish off the rest of the joins. Toilet's pretty much ready to go. Got to connect this, connect that, and you might think that it looks very level, which isn't very good for flow, but stand corrected because we've still got a lot to drop when that goes into the T. And there's still enough room underneath this step to bring that higher when it connects to the elbow and then the trap as well. So the final positioning will have enough coming from the trap, which will come down at an angle, and then it'll also go into an angle to the soil pipe. So that's super good. So a bit more explanation of the existing pipe that was here, that's no longer here, is that was actually the soakaway for the outdoor kitchen area, the sink area just in that utility yard. So we've just made this obsolete because we've realised when the channel was dug for this soil pipe, when we turned the water on and blasted on all the taps, we realised it was coming out here, which didn't get seen by the digger. So we're going to put a 45 elbow on that to have a separate 50mm drain into the septic pit. So it's pretty good so far. We're going to use the orange pipe with the sleeve to bring us an extra length into it. And we accidentally dropped an elbow into the pit. So that's going to have to be got out next week when we got the ladder. So whilst the electric was off today, we got the rest of the laminate off. We didn't get round to doing the cupboards, but it's just something that we do really when we just want a break of smashing and dusty jobs. So there's no real priority for that. Didn't get a chance to look above the wall, but like I say, that's kind of an extra job. It's not on the list, but it's a bonus if we get round to it. And I'll just show you what Nisha's been sorting out in the pantry corridor. So we're trying to get clean where we go. And you can see it's all looking really empty now. But it's just a bit foisty because it hasn't been able to breathe. So we're just leaving the doors open whilst the air can just move around as people are in. So to save money, we've actually gone around the property and dug out a lot of these concrete posts. You see there's a few, but these are the really heavy ones and they actually go into the ground a metre low. So some of the paths that have been kind of overgrown and just buried over time, they actually had some of these as edging. So there's another path buried over there. So a lot of them were pretty decent, and it is only to hold up the concrete pad until it sets. It's like an additional support system underneath the OSB formwork. So if there is a little bit of steel reinforcement on show, it's not the end of the world, to be honest. When we did ours, it was exactly the same. So we got 15, which should be enough, about a foot distance. Might even have some spare. So we're really happy with finding them. And I'll just show you what Nisha's doing for the rest of the day. Right, Nish, what have you been up to? I've showed them inside, clearing out that pantry corridor.
I got told off by being inside. It's too feisty.
Too feisty inside, so you got getting your tan on, aren't you?
Yeah.
How's your stacking going?
OCD.
OCD. And you've been putting some stuff in here?
Yeah.
So all the jars and stuff from the pantry corridor have been put away nice and tidy, and we can close that and keep them dry. And she's also been gathering all the little Bulgarian things around that have been buried and just locked away for dusty time. So that's all up there for Bex and Johnny to sort out on a future date. And the Airbnb room is going up next week. So super good progress, like I say. Today we spent the morning getting all the bits and bobs and the water fittings. So next week is assembly, and get some PVC, cement, things like that, all the silicone jobs, and cut into the main water pipe and get some cold supply to the sink area and the toilet area and some flexes for a future water heater. So stay tuned for next week's episode, and if you like it, don't forget to hit that bell and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Ciao for now.